you.
And it would be great if you could turn your cameras on. We'd love to see your pretty faces.
And believe me, a lot of us didn't get much sleep, so appearance isn't the issue. Hey, Eric. Nice to see you. Anybody else coming in? Because, this is. Hi, Ellen Love. Nice to see you.
It
Well,
is true. We didn't get much sleep. But
no, none of us did.
I think everybody
okay, I
is
just got
has
texted by
that
a few more people that are going to be
concert
joining.
hangover.
I think it's true no matter what you did yesterday. Hey, Becky.
Hey,
Early for you, I know. Thank you for.
it's cold here.
What is cold made in Hawaii? And
It's below 70.
oh my God.
oh,
Welcome, everybody.
All right, hey folks. So we haven't quite gone live on Facebook yet. We're waiting for a couple more people, and then we're gonna take it live and start the whole thing. But thanks for being here. And hey, Sean, glad you could make it. Yeah, you guys know Sean. He's taking amazing photos of all of our music, and he's a super talented guy and a really sweet guy too. So thank you.
Oh,
Sean.
you're too kind. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Sean.
Morning, Sean. Thanks for your images. I have seen some of them.
Oh, thank you.
We have so many wonderful photographs of our culture and our musicians and our fans. It's all part of the same thing. Thank you for being a part of it. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Bobby.
Right. Okay, I guess we'll give it I just want to give another minute for more people to see if they'll join us. And then otherwise we will go live and just give it another 2 minutes and I'll take it live.
Julie's coming in.
I've got a few people that just texted me that they're joining, so.
Hi, Julia.
Hi, Julia.
The I-Ching can also be the cat can. It's Lulu Reed, everybody. All right. Well, welcome. More folks. We at least we've got like a fullish Brady Bunch screen happening now. Hi, Julia. I'm so glad you could get up. Everybody, Julie here is one of my dearest friends, and I've known her for a long time. And when I was going through all the Bob Weir pictures, I found so many pictures of her and Russ and me at shows that made me realize how long we've been going to shows and festivals together. And this is a good one over here.
I got Bobby right behind me here.
Bobby.
It's a great picture. That's lovely.
All right. Oh, good. Cynthia, glad to see you. So those of you that are joining us, if you could turn on your camera, we would really love that. We would love to see your faces, and we would love to share your faces.
Brian, a few people have said to me that they will turn on their cameras as soon as they get dressed.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. So I'm gonna take. You guys ready for me to take us live onto the Facebook and to start
Let's go Facebook Live.
Okay. Oh, I think actually, we might be Facebook Live. I think it went live automatically at 10:30. We're just rambling now, and people are watching us, actually. Hello, Facebook.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello,
and
Facebook.
welcome.
So glad you're with us
everybody.
today.
I guess it just went live automatically at 10:30, and we're rambling. So welcome, everyone, and so glad you could make it today. I'm Happy Cat, Brian from Deadheadland, and we're doing this really... we wanted to do a gathering like we've done in the past here on Deadheadland with people for a tribute to Bobby, a grateful gathering, a way for us to connect with the community here, there, and everywhere. And I'm just so glad you could make it. And we're going to give it just another minute or so for a few more people to join us online here. But it looks like we've got a few people watching now. And very good. Yeah, we're up to about 40 people watching us on Facebook. We got a bunch of folks here in the Zoom. So once again, welcome everybody. I'm so glad you could be here. It was a really wonderful day yesterday in San Francisco. For those of you who were part of it or were able to watch online, there's videos on my channel and all over. TedTube is going to put up some amazing videos, TedTube on YouTube. So lots to remember from yesterday, such a glorious day. But we're here together as a community to just gather and connect and have a moment to kind of share some of our feelings and thoughts. We wanted this to be a connection of spirit because Bobby really was kind of a mystic and a spiritual guy in his way. And a lot of us connected with that energy. And it might not have had a specific denomination, as it were, but it was really a connection of spirit. And Bobby was our spirit guide in many, many ways. Anyways, so I'm grateful for you to all be here. And I'm now going to pass things off to Dr. Erica Rosenberg to host and facilitate this meeting. Thank you, Erica, for being here and doing your part.
Thank you, Brian, and Wendy and Jeanette, who are helping out in Jordan, and everybody for coming. And thank you, Bobby. What we're going to do first, before I say anything else, is we're going to just take a moment of silent and slightly guided reflection to set this meeting off, to set our sharings off. Before we start with any sharing of stories or memories, I'd like to invite everybody just to get still and silent for a moment. And to go inside and feel whatever you're feeling right now in your heart for Bobby. Whatever flavor it might be for what he brought into your life, and for your feelings now at this time of his transition. You don't have to name it. You don't have to know how to talk about it. Just knowing that it comes from a beautiful place of love and music and community. Maybe just going into your heart and feeling what you feel, and for now, let it grow. Bobby gave so much to us. Right up to the end, he was giving. And he cared a lot about the world and what was happening in it. We heard some of that yesterday from his family, from some of the speakers, to remember how Bobby cared about what happened in the world and on this planet and to this planet. So maybe as we go into the world, from this moment on, carrying some of that goodness that he ignited in us, some of that spirit and love and joy, and sharing it with all those we meet, all the creatures on the planet and beyond. Thank you, Bobby. Okay, so thank you for coming, everybody. And before we get going with sharing, and this is really a place just to hear, to share, for community, I'd like to just offer a couple guidelines for how to participate here. You know, we have a lot of people really glad you're showing up. And if you're interested in sharing something, an observation, a feeling, a memory about Bobby, please raise your hand. You can either do it on camera or use the digital hand raising function on Zoom if you're familiar with that. You're also free to share some things in the chat field as we go along. So that's another place you can share. And I think Brian said on Facebook, if you want people who are watching there, you can share comments there. So if you'd like to speak, raise your hand, and then one of us will call on you. You know, I will call on you. I have people helping me out trying to notice who's sharing, raising their hand. Please be mindful of the fact that there's a lot of folks here who might want to share. So when you do share, keep your offering to just a minute or two. And if you start talking for more than 2 minutes, around the 2 minute mark, you're going to get this. Okay, is it showing? Do I have my, okay, so this is the Bobby shut the fuck up image, and this is how we can politely and humorously, is that working? Wendy, is that right? Okay, good.
It's working.
You have to speak and not nod because I can't see the camera when I put that up there. Okay, so you'll get the message. If the shirt just starts coming up and you see Bobby's head, you're getting the hook. So please be mindful so that if other people want to share, I'll hold this up. And also just to say something about sharing in a group. Share your own experience. If someone says something, and especially if emotions come up, it's lovely to be here and receive it. But it's not necessarily your job to comment on anybody else's experience. If you had a shared experience with them, that's different, but I'm assuming that's not going to happen too much. So just share from your own experience. And then when you're done, someone else gets a turn. And anything else to my co-organizers here? Did I cover it?
I will, after my turn, I will monitor the Facebook, and so I might check in, and if there's anybody that shares in the comments on Facebook and read some of their comments or share those, or maybe do a screen share or something. If we'll figure that out as we go along. But so those of you that are watching, there's about 50 or so people watching on Facebook right now. Please share in the comments, and I'll try to pass that along.
Great.
And Erica, let's remind everybody that Lebo will be joining us for some music.
Yes, after a certain period of sharing, after about an hour or so, Lebo's going to come on and help us out with a little Bobby. I think a little Bobby music that would be fitting.
Yeah, I told him a Bobby song of his choice, so we'll.
All right, right. We're really lucky to have Lebo showing up and playing for us.
And I see Sunshine has joined us too.
Yeah. Okay, so let us begin officially, and I'm going to hand it off to Brian to do the first sharing and also to model appropriate sharing duration. So, so that you all know how this works. Okay, Brian, it's yours. And I'm timing.
All right, I'm going to do my best to keep this under 2 minutes. So, Wendy, if you could spotlight the I Ching, which is my other phone, but I'm going to speak from here, but if you can spotlight that for the image, would be great. Or, I think
if I knew how to, I would.
Oh, maybe I have to unmute.
I might be able to do it.
Yeah, you have to unmute that. It's going to highlight the one you're speaking on.
I'll spotlight the I Ching.
Oh, great, Jen.
Well, there you go. Okay, and I'm muted on my other thing, so hopefully there won't be an echo. So, well, first off, here's one of my cats, Lulu Reed. And there's Ollie Wally Doodle over there. So I wanted to share from the I Ching. I'm getting an echo here. Let me mute my computer. Computer. There we go. I used to carry this I Ching with me all the time to Grateful Dead concerts back in the 80s and the 90s. And here's my little Boomerang Express newsletter from whenever, way back when here, University, Grateful Dead, whatever, University of Space. Anyways, Bobby Weir, as I understand, used to really be obsessively into the I Ching, and back in his acid head days, used to consult it all the time before he would do anything. And I used to do the same thing. I find this is a really deep book, and this is my particular favorite version, the illustrated I Ching, and it's so well used that I had to actually put it into a binder because it was falling apart. So I would do readings before shows to help me create intention. And so what I wanted to do, I have no idea how this is going to come out, was going to do a live I Ching reading for today, and just with the question of how can we best continue to carry on as the Grateful Dead community and to serve the spirit of the Grateful Dead and everything we got from Jerry and from Bobby and from Phil and Mickey and Billy and Donna and Keith and PC and Brent and everybody else, whoever I forgot. So anyways, here we go. So the way this is done is I just gonna toss these pennies 6 times, and then they'll create these lines here. So my first toss was 2 heads and a tail, which is a straight line. And so I'm kind of constructing that then. All right. Everybody just kind of hold this intention while I do this. I know this is like totally random, but our intention kind of creates it. So again, we got the straight line. And so we build from the bottom up, the first trigram and then the second trigram. This is from the Taoist tradition or Confucianism, I think. A picture I drew however many years ago. Probably I was high. All right, the third toss. And what do we have there? We get the same thing. We get a solid 3 lines. Okay, that's the first trigram. And picking up the pennies off the floor is going to eat up my time. Okay. Come on, Ollie, help
I'm
me.
not going to hold up the shirt for you, but it's been 3 minutes, so I'll let you finish your reading.
Okay. So now I got what we got was a broken line. We got two tails and a head. Oh. Okay. We got a solid line again. One more. All right, everybody. Whoa! It's the picking up the pennies part. I didn't realize it was going to be difficult. Seriously. Ollie, help me pick up this penny off the floor. That's going to eat up my time. Here we go. All right. And the final was 3. So that's actually a changing line. So we get a broken with a dot. So the first thing we do is then we come over here and we match up the program. So we got Chen on the bottom and pictures in the way. And then the top one is the on, whatever. So 5. So then I go to page 5. Ah! And here's our reading today. I won't read the whole thing because we got 2 minutes. But collective waiting with a confident attitude will bring radiant progress. Correct persistence brings good fortune. It is advantageous to experience the collective flow. The anxious clouds rise up into the light of day, heaven, forming the condition for calculated waiting. An enlightened person, therefore, eats and drinks in comfort and contentment. And this book is great, illustrated. Each thing has these pictures. There's a lot more detail, but I won't go into. But since there's a changing line, that means that this changes over to a straight line. So our final reading changes to this. Go back to back to here. So it becomes Shen and Sun, which is 9. So we go to 9, and I won't bother you with what the changing line means. Each line means something too, but I'm trying to stay under my 2 minutes. So that was my assignment.
It's
Probably at 3
6,
now.
that's okay.
Okay, so it changes into number 9. Restrained. Restrained will bring progress. Dense clouds, but no rain is seen from the border on the west. Satisfaction. The gradual wind moves about the firm heaven, forming the condition for restrained. An enlightened person, therefore, must conceal even his virtuous conduct. All right, so that's my reading. Take from that what you will. I think there's a lot to be said there, but that's what I wanted to share today. And now I'm gonna pass
Thank
it back
you.
to Erica, back to the next
Thank you,
person to
Brian.
share. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Brian. And that was beautiful. And it fits the spirit energy, especially of Bobby. However, folks, just knowing that was not a good model of how long to take. So Brian gets extra slack because he's our Deadheadland host. So just maybe half that time. And we're gonna open it up now for sharing. And if you're not speaking and you have your microphone on, sometimes we can get echo. And Wendy, that includes you. So maybe muting if you're not speaking so we don't get echo. And all right, so please do a hand raise. I see Jordan. Yes. Go ahead, dear. 2 minutes.
So I'm gonna be real quick. Basically, I'm not feeling that good, so I'll probably go lie down in a couple of minutes. Hi everyone. So with that, um, we knew something was up. At Fare Thee Well, also just that Bobby didn't play. I mean that the Fare Thee Well, Dead 60. Come on, when was the last time Bob Weir took that much time off? I bet never, right? Hey, recording in progress. Um, so there's that, and there was one other thing. I said I was gonna have a late night last night. I didn't realize how late you guys were gonna be up. They didn't end till I don't know what time. They didn't get off the stage till 2 or 2 o'clock, stuff like that. So usually I have a lot more to say, but my throat is still killing me. So much love to you all. We all obviously have gotten more than we could ever even express from the dead and Bobby. So
Thank you, Jordan. Thank you for being here. I know you're not feeling well, and part of that came from all the wonderful performances you've been doing to honor Bobby's memory. Um, I see Sean has a hand up.
Hi there.
Thank you, Sean.
Piggybacking on what Jordan said, I live here in Marin, and gosh, for a few years there, it seemed like you couldn't throw a stick without having Bobby pop up at a show or Phil pop up at a show. And the last 18 months or so, it all of a sudden that and special guest, wink, wink, we all know it's Bobby, had stopped. And I I think back to Sammy Hagar did a benefit showing of a film that he'd done, and it was like 200 of us at the Throckmorton Theater, and uh, and then instead of a few acoustic songs, he brought his full band, and then about 3 or 4 songs in, he introduced his buddy Bobby Weir, and shortly after Mickey Hart joined, and one of my it's one of my favorite moments because there were only 200 of us, and Bobby was in a very good spirit. At one point Sammy said, "Hey, do you want to know what key it is?" And Bobby said, "It's not hard to figure out your songs, Sammy." And Sammy was promoting Cabo Wabo tequila, and Bobby was definitely at that point enjoying tequila, and it was just to see him really fully in the moment, having a fantastic time with only 200 people in his favorite town. It was fantastic, and I will miss those surprise slash unsurprised moments a ton. And then maybe someone else can talk, but the hawk yesterday,
Yeah.
the red tail hawk, with the fact that Tam High, the mascot, is the red tail hawk.
Oh, wow.
Um, I've never seen a moment. I've gone, oh shoot, okay, I'll stop. But I've never
Yeah,
I go to sports all the time. I've seen a
can.
lot of moments of silence, and I've never seen a moment of silence that was so quiet with so
Yeah.
many people, all of us who don't like authoritarianism, and all you heard was the hawk. It was unbelievable.
Thank you. And I appreciate what you shared about the local showing up of Bobby, because I think those of us who live in the Bay Area have been so privileged, and not to mention the folks in Mill Valley who, he's just a neighbor. And I think for a lot of us, what's tough about these losses is not just an icon, but it's just our guy. It's our guy. So thank you. I'll defer discussion of the hawk because I'm sure it'll come up. If not, I can. And I'm going to go to Julia, who has politely been sitting there with the electronic hand raise. Hi, Julia. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Sean.
Oh, hello. Gosh, yesterday's memorial was fantastic. And the hawk, the whole thing, it just couldn't have been nicer. As you can hear, I'm losing my voice from crying and dancing. And geez, it was just fantastic. There were too many people at the Warfield, I will say. Um, but what the hey. Bobby would have loved it. I wish there had been more stuff like that for him before he passed. I don't know. He was against it, but but I still think he would have liked it anyway, in spite of himself. So I've seen Bobby in all iterations ever since he started playing. You know, the Grateful Dead, the Rat Dog, the Wolf Brothers. It's all so marvelous. Everybody should just at least take a chance and go find that music and listen to it if you haven't heard it before. If this is new to you. My face is in the paper today. I just found out. So, thank you, Bobby. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for all of the years of fantastic energy. You're the real deal. All right. I appreciate it. And this community has been fantastic. Jordan Feinstein running those unbelievable shows down at the Haight. Go see them on YouTube. Honest to goodness, it's just been a fabulous, fabulous time. I'm glad I was alive at the same time as Bobby Weir. And so,
Thank you, Julia.
welcome.
Thank you so much. And for always, you're another one of those people who's always there, and it's just a lovely thing. Um, okay. And I love that picture of Bobby behind your head. How fitting. So Anna, you're fully bobbied out. And I really, I teared up a little bit about when you said, I wish we'd done more of this when he was alive. And of course, we always with endless appreciation and enthusiasm. You know, he was never lacking adoring fans, but it's also this kind of tender thing. Thank you for saying that. Who would like to share next? Hi, Goobs. Does anybody have? And it could simply, you know, it can be a memory, it could be a feeling. Yeah, Cynthia, dear. Yeah.
Hi, I'm gonna start the timer. Yeah, I was beating myself up yesterday. I'm not in San Francisco. I'm at my home in Florida, and I was so mad at myself yesterday for not flying back. But I did watch, and I kept reminding myself that I was there for his life. Like I've met him a few times, but like I think I was like 16 when I saw him for the first time in 1978. And back then I was participating in like mushrooms and things like that. And I can remember one time just being like so high, and hanging on the stage. There was no rail at that time. And he would come in and make like funny faces at me. And I just never forgot that. And then, fast forward, I was invited, Steve Parrish took me to TRI where Bobby was. And so I got to meet him. Steve was there, Jay, Bobby, and that was about it. And Bobby's walking around playing a John Prine, just walking around with his guitar as if he was talking, he was playing a John Prine song. I just couldn't believe it. And then everybody went out to get high. And now being sober for 20 years, of course, I didn't go out. And so I stayed on the couch in the studio, and Bobby said, "Hey, come up. I want to show you something." And so he brought me up on the stage, and he showed me how he was working on, getting, his wanting to play with the symphony. He was working on a way to get the drums to go through the PA and not, because he was explaining how the symphony needs they can't have drums bang, so he was like, and he sat down at the drums, started playing and everything. And I couldn't believe where I was. And then at one point I was and I know I'm at 2 minutes, but I'll just finish the story to say I was standing at his mic. I was trapped on the stage because he was blocking my way. And he was like texting on his iPad, and I was just like, "Oh my God, I need to get back. I'm so shy, so starstruck. I need to get back to the couch," but he wasn't letting me go. And so we talked a little bit, and I said, "Isn't it weird? Like, isn't it just something how, like, I've known you my whole life since 14 I started listening, 16 when I started, and look at us now." And he said, "Oh yeah, I remember you." So he said, "I recognize you, seeing you out there." So that was, cool. But I don't know, I was so feeling shy. And the only thing I could think to say was that, I said, "Well, when I was younger, he used to make funny faces at me." And he really laughed at that. But I mean, I feel like I was so blessed in my life, not just with Bobby, but to see Phil and Jerry and just be a part of this whole thing. And it's really made a difference in my life. I can I just say one more thing
Yeah, wrap
to
it up.
say that, when I met Phil Lesh, one of the things that I explained to him was when I arrived at a Grateful Dead concert, I felt like I found the place where I belonged, and that was at age 16. And the music really helped me, the community really helped me, because like I said, really shy, really introverted person, but with the music and the community, you guys brought me out of my shell. So I'm really grateful. I'm sorry I wasn't there. I just was heartbroken that I wasn't there, but I just kept reminding myself of all that I did receive from Bobby. So it
Thank
looked like a nice time. Love y'all.
Amazing time. And it's funny, I was thinking of you so much yesterday. I knew you couldn't be there. And you would have been right up front, of course, at the Civic Center and at the Warfield and everything. And thank you for sharing. I think what I'm glad that we could be here for you and that you could be here. So thank
I
you.
just got to add that Robbie and Diane and I were all going, where the hell is Cynthia?
Hmm.
She's online usually at the Sweetwater at 4 in the morning. Love you.
I was a dummy. I didn't make it back, but I was there in spirit with the
Certainly.
hawk.
Thank you, dear. Thank you. So, who would like to share next? I'm looking for hands. Oh, there's another page of faces. And if I'm missing a hand, Jeanette and Wendy, if you could let me know.
And I can share some of the stuff from Facebook if we have a pause here for a moment.
Sure.
Okay, let me go back to where that was. Hold on.
And while Brian's searching, you can think if there's anything you'd like to say. And
Yeah, so we have lots of folks here on Facebook. There's like 50 watching now. I think we're a little higher. Rosemary says she feels so lost, and I totally understand that. And um who else? Much love to my brothers and sisters. Naomi Abrams, grateful for all the magical, amazing shows we were able to experience for so many years. May we continue to gather with music and love. Sugar Magnolia, so thankful to have been there. Yesterday was the most beautiful celebration of life with tears and laughter that was utterly breathtaking. Kat Walkerson, sending love, my friends. Kat from the Garcia Project. Shalom, who actually kind of initiated us on doing this, but he's unfortunately home, not feeling well, but he sent a message. I'm so grateful for the 30 years that the Grateful Dead created a community that I was a part of for the last 8 years, and how Bobby and Phil kept it going for another 30 years. A loving and caring spiritual community. Thank you, Shalom. Ted Silverman, Ted Tube. I'm so full of love for all of you in our community, and thank you, Ted, for all you do. Amazing. Really an amazing video archive that Ted has. Marcy Santana saying hi to Julie. Um, uh, Sending love to everyone from Leah. What else? Vivian, love you all here in Eugene. So grateful knowing the music never dies. We all have one another. One day we will all join on the other side. Owen, just saying thanks to Brian and Erica. We love you, Owen. Jeremiah Fone, whoop whoop. And with the hawk. Kate McCleary, grateful for you all. And and Ted Silverman sending appreciation back to all of us, Erica, Jordan, Goobs, Brian, for all you do. Anyways, there's a few of the shares from Facebook, everybody. All right. And
oh,
anyone
there
else
you go.
here?
That was enough to get some people. Tim, I see Tim has his hand up. Please.
Yeah, I'll try and go quick. Of course, I could go on for hours about Bobby and the dead and everything it's meant to me. But just a couple quick stories that come to mind. Feeling like remember being surprised to learn a couple of times that Bobby, even in later years, was just one of us, really. A couple of examples. I was lucky enough in 1990 to be on Kauai to see Bobby Weir with Rob Wasserman and Taj Mahal open the show. And then lucky enough to get invited to this beach party afterwards. And there were people at this beach party singing around. And Bobby and Taj stayed up all night jamming with whoever happened to be there. Just another hippie around the fire. And it was amazing. We jammed till probably close to sunrise. Um, a similar thing happened at the Hog Farm picnic in 1995. Backstage, there's a whole bunch of teepees, and Bobby sat around the fire jamming with all the other musicians for hours and hours after the show. He just wanted to play music. He wasn't the rock star who disappeared, came and went. He was just one of the hippies at the show, which really struck me. I got to talk to, for the radio show, I put together a couple of specials, and I got to talk to a bunch of musicians right after he passed, immediately after he passed. And there are a couple of common themes that came out. One was Bobby wanted everyone to go for it, that if they weren't making mistakes, then they weren't pushing it. And if they weren't pushing it, he wasn't happy. That he didn't judge people for making mistakes. He judged people for not making mistakes. Because if they weren't making mistakes, they were phoning it in, he felt, which was really, yeah, it was common to everyone. The other thing people talked about repeatedly was his humanity and generosity towards others. One musician who I don't see her here anymore, so I'll tell her. She said, I felt protective of Bobby because everybody asking him for something, he might just say yes, right? And the others things that I heard countless stories of him talking to people who might be on their way out and going and singing them a song and things like that. Anyway, like I said, I could go on for hours, but I'm glad we're here. And I actually have to run off in a few
Thank
minutes,
you.
but thanks.
Thank you, Tim, and thank you for those stories. And there was something you said about, the making the mistakes and the errors. It reminds me of something John Mayer was saying yesterday on stage, that this, like, how he learned all this freedom from Bobby, and that he hopes that one thing Bobby learned from him was something about having a plan, that tension. So that was a really, it was humorous and it was sweet and poignant, and just the gratitude for what he learned from him. His whole, if you haven't seen it, for the folks that didn't for any chance watch the recording or were there live, I really think it's worth watching. There were some beautiful tributes, and I learned a lot about Bobby.
And for those of you that don't know, Tim, who just spoke, is the host of Dead to the World Wednesday nights on KPFA and also streaming all over the world on kpfa.org. And Tim is also the station manager of my favorite terrestrial radio station, KALX, out of Berkeley,
Oh,
University of
cool.
California, Berkeley. Amazing station, eclectic music, all sorts of stuff. But this week, almost all their DJs have been playing some Bobby songs and some Grateful Dead songs. And particularly shout out to my favorite DJ, Jared Kowalski Jr. She's just awesome. Anyways, just wanted to plug you, Tim, because I love you and I love your work on the radio.
Thank you, Brian. Ellen, I see you have your hand up. Thank you, dear.
Good morning. I guess I want to talk about the part that's past. Behind me is my husband, Burke. And while I saw the Dead in the 60s and 70s in New York, in the 70s in New York, I really started being part of the community in the 80s with Burke. And he passed away 7 years ago. And the depth of the personal family loss is something I want to raise again. And when I was at the Sphere last year, I talked to Natasha and Chloe at her photo show, and they were so kind. And we talked about Burke and we talked about the community, and they were, they didn't know him. They know a million people, and they were just really kind and understanding. And it makes me really feel back towards them, as besides this loss to the greater community, which is huge, there's the family loss and what that will mean for a long time for them. The other part of that, though, is that I really firmly believe in the Great Concert in the Sky. And I've seen Burke there at that concert for years. And I just, one of the AI things that I loved online was a picture of Bobby ascending in the clouds to Jerry and Phil. And one day with my own little photo skills, I'm going to like put Burke in the clouds there as part of the audience and save that for myself because, and then the community has really been what it was really wonderful for us when we were together, but it's also really sustained me since he's been gone by having a place for music where I always knew people, and even though it makes me sad, it also makes me happy. And finally, in going for tickets for the Warfield, which I thought was going to be really hard, I went to my Burke altar, which I've moved him from the altar to be in the Zoom right now, but and I said, come on, help us. And his son and I, who were both trying for tickets, were like among the first people to get in and get tickets. So I believe that the spirits really are there for us and help us manifest. And Bobby's spirit's going to be at a million zillion shows and inhabiting the musicians and the audience and supporting all of us.
Thank you, Ellen. That was lovely. The great concert in the sky.
Yep.
And I'm needing to see. Somehow I'm just seeing. Oh, yeah, there we go. So I'm looking around to see if there's anybody with their hand up. Scott, let's go for it.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Man, there's so much to say, really. But the one thing that keeps standing out throughout all of this, that, as I reflect, um, is really how grateful we should all be. And we are, obviously, but for everything. I mean, this is a band that was together forever throughout our lives. And for me personally, um, I started seeing them, as far as I'm concerned, in their peak in the late '80s, and this is a band that was together before I was even born. So how lucky am I to be able to see them at such uh, a level that they had risen after many years, and that in itself is just so amazing. The longevity of them. The Beatles were together. I'm not even sure. What was it? 7 years, 6 or 7 years, and this band in my 50s is still going in some form. I just feel so grateful for all of that, but more grateful for this community than anything else. Um, this is a tragedy, a death that we've all experienced together. We all have each other. Oftentimes, when somebody important dies, people experience intense loneliness. We're so lucky to have each other, and man, this is just the best community. Every person involved is just full of love, and I love each and every one of you. That's all I can say. That's what all of this always brings. Anything that has to do with the Grateful Dead just brings so much love for this community. That's all I could say. I love you guys.
Oh, love you too. Thank you. And thank you for everything you bring. I mean, it's really easy to think of you as like you're such a Brent guy. You bring the Brent energy. And I remember, however, I love hearing you sing Bobby songs. And that so you're keeping it alive. I mean, I think it's like Graham said last night to everybody who was, at the Warfield, or if you saw that show, he said, "Don't worry, this music's alive. It's just gonna keep going and going and going." And that's one thing that Jerry, Bobby, Phil, Mickey, Billy, everybody else involved have brought us. So yeah. And yesterday in particular at the Civic Center, they really emphasized that it's just we're all in it, is that's the community, the band, and as we know, the music played the band, right? Okay, so looking around, I'm gonna look for hands, and if I'm missing anybody, oh, hey, the iPhone over there on the couch. I don't see a name, but it just says iPhone ITE. But you're welcome to speak and share your name, please. You were waving over there, or were you just waving to me? Okay, you're just waving. Okay. While we're waiting for a hand, I just there's an opportunity here to say something about the hawk. Yeah, we've made an allusion to the hawk a couple times, but if anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, during the service at the Civic Center yesterday, the official memorial service, when Bobby's family was up there, I think Natasha was speaking, his wife Natasha. A red-tailed hawk started circling the Civic Center Plaza. And I don't know how many of you are familiar with that part of San Francisco, but we don't see hawks there very often. It wasn't a seagull. It wasn't, we do get some turkey vultures, but we don't get hawks there very often. So it was pretty magical. And, Natasha even went up and said, "Hi, babe." So we had a moment of really feeling Bobby's spirit soar. And a hawk was such a beautiful, um, animal spirit to represent Bobby's spirit, I think. But the other thing that some people might not know is that not too much longer, two other hawks joined in. And my dear friend Owen, who was with us, I'm just going to quote him because he said, "There's Jerry and Phil." So there was a period of time where we had, if you like, Jerry, Bobby, and Phil soaring above us at the Civic Center Plaza.
That's really just wonderful. I've been trying to see if I can find a video. I know somebody posted a really good video I saw this morning of the hawks while Chloe was speaking. I'm trying to see if I can find that.
Yeah, it was
But
awesome. It was so
let's share here.
I'm going to interrupt a second because I had friends who were aware of the hawk from the moment it arrived on the scene. It was sitting in a tree right in front of the stage. It was incredible. These are no accidents, folks. No accident.
Well, and I even heard someone say that, maybe it was planned and it was somebody's trained hawk or whatever, but whether that's the case or not, it was still amazing, and
like
maybe
they made
not,
that
but
rainbow at GD50, right? The nice thing about these events is we can make them what they are, and we can take it literally, we can take it figuratively, as an image, and it's nice to visit that place in our hearts, even if we don't truly believe it, but just to have it be a flight of imagination and keep our minds open is something. Bobby was a great example of somebody with an ever open mind. Um, how are we doing here? Does anybody feel inspired to share? To acknowledge, to share again, since we have no.
Yeah, we have time, and there's more people. I am still trying to find that hawk video. I wish I would have saved it.
And
But
yeah.
Hey, howdy. This is
Hi,
Pete.
Pete.
I
Yeah.
knew Pete would talk. Thank you, Pete, for joining us.
Yeah, I'm sorry my camera's not on at the moment, but I love everybody here. It's great to hear everybody and see everybody. One thing I just wanted to say quickly about Bobby that really moved me among so many things, but one thing a few years ago, a very dear friend to me and many of us, who was Robin Sylvester, who passed away a few years ago. And before that happened, about 4 years ago, in early 2022, there was a fundraiser show for Robin for his medical expenses and living expenses, whatnot, with Bobby, with Don Was, with Jeff Commenti, with Jay Lane, with Barry Sless at Sweetwater. And I was in Florida at the time. I couldn't attend, and I'm in Florida now. But it feels like I was just out there a couple of weeks ago playing for the New Year. But it always really touched me that Bobby went out of his way to do something like this for his old bandmate and bass player Robin, to do this fundraiser show. It was just one more gesture of compassion and generosity. And I had always looked forward to running into Bob again after that, just to thank him for what he did for Robin that day, putting that show together and raising that money. And Robin was there; he attended the show, and it was just a great way for all of his musical pals from Rat Dog and with Bobby to show Robin how much they loved him, and for the audience too, of course. And so that was just one thing that Bobby did among countless things that that stands out in my memory that I always was very thankful for, that he did that.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all.
Thank you, Pete.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you for chiming in. And some of the speakers yesterday really talked about Bobby's, boundless generosity in that way, and how when there was always somebody in need, a cause, someone who was, reaching their end, he would be there to play. And what you shared is just another example. So thank you so much for reminding us of that gift from Bobby.
I found the video of the hawk. If I can do a screen share for a moment.
Yeah.
Let me figure out how to do this. There we go. I think, share sound too. All right, here we go.
Within my father's devotion to music, he carried the spirit of not only those who came before, but all those who will come after. His greatest wish was always for the music to live on long after he was gone. In 30 years, I hope that a 60-year-old is bragging to a 20-year-old in a parking lot saying, "I saw them with Bobby." In 300 years, when the music from this time period is being discussed, I want the Grateful Dead to not only be in that conversation, but to be still evolving. This 300-year legacy is an aspiration my dad often spoke of. He explained for that to be possible, within my father's devotion to music, he carried.
That was amazing, Brian. That was amazing. And to hear Chloe's words at that time, and I think a lot of us, there's already signs of bumper stickers of "I saw them with Bobby." That was one of the great take-home phrases of the day. Thank you so much for finding that video. And I don't know if there's a way to share it more broadly on social media or something. We'd love to get an option. I see Daniel. I see a hand raised. If you'd like to share. Thank you.
Hi, thank you. Thank you everyone for gathering and inviting me here. I'm a musician from LA. Some of you know me, and it's just been such a wild week, a roller coaster, really. And it's incredible to see. What I want to focus on here is just the enormity of people that were impacted by Bobby and the band, and how the music really crossed into every genre of music, musicians all over the world. And part of the legacy, part of the 300-year legacy mission and ensuring that is sharing the music. When the Grateful Dead ended, Bobby and Phil didn't just carry the music, they brought it to everyone everywhere. They showed up, they sat in with countless bands and across genres of music. It wasn't this homogenous, like, only you can play this, only you can do this. It was intentional that everyone would be allowed to play the music and share the music and give it their own spark and their own interpretation. And it's encouraged to interpret the music however you feel called to interpret it, with respect. And I think that's so amazing. I feel honored and blessed to be able to play music and to share with my community my interpretation and my love and my creativity through this. I've been inspired to create so much music because of the Grateful Dead, and Bobby's playing, especially his style and his unique approach. Been encouraged to be an individual and to follow my path, listening to Bobby and following his way. I think that's so amazing. And I just want to encourage everyone to spread that, not just through listening to the music and carrying it, but encouraging everyone to play it, to get on stage, to form a band, to join a band, to share it, do it, play shows, and be relentless about it, because it's such a gift for everyone. It heals us. It really does heal us. And thank you. Thank you for letting me share that.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Thank you, Daniel. And a couple of things, like you were talking about the sharing of the music and being okay with other musicians playing it. And of course, this also goes back to taping. That they said it wasn't like I used to get bothered when people called them bootlegs, because bootlegs implied that it was a sneaky thing.
Right.
Like, no, set it, record, and that was just like totally unheard of. No one was doing that and worrying about copyrights and all that stuff. So it's just like deeply interwoven in the philosophy of what the Grateful Dead was all about, and or what they are all about, because as we know, this is timeless, and we're so privileged to be a part of it. All right, so how we doing? Anybody else needing to I'm scanning for hands. Okay, iPhone, IT, whatever that, yeah. You unmuted. What's your name? Oh, there you are. Hi, Roger. I couldn't see your face and you're muted, Roger. Can you unmute? I'm not hearing you.
Wait, we can't hear you, Roger. Hold
Still
on.
muted, Roger. Sorry for shouting like he's like that would make a difference. Can't hear you. Okay.
Still can't hear you. We could go to Jana.
We can go to Jana Bart. Oh, there we go.
Or Roger, do you do sign language?
Okay, Roger, while you're working on that technical issue, I'm going to go to Jana and let her share. Hi, Jana.
Hey. Well, I'm just really grateful to be here, as we are. Gabe's here too.
Hi.
And we're in New York, where it's super snowy, as I'm sure some of you might know about. But yeah, we're there in spirit. We had a trip planned to New York and to see J-Rad before Bob.
Okay, now Jana got muted. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not hearing you, Jana. Okay.
I don't know why that happened. Anyway, so yeah, we planned to be in New York for J-Rad, and we didn't go to the first night, but we went last night. And at one point, they just threw a picture of Bob's "Shut the Fuck Up" STFU from the Sweetwater picture, which I imagine most of you are familiar with. And they put it up way high up all over in the cap and played Sage and Spirit from sheet music. And it was just so gorgeous. And after a few murmurs, as New York audience are known to do, they finally settled down, and it was some of the quietest I've heard. It was so beautiful and reverent, and you could just feel, I got chills. You could feel us all connected. And I just marvel. I can go to New York, to Pennsylvania, to Montana, to New Orleans, to California, our beloved. And we are everywhere. We're everywhere, right? And we're so lucky in the Bay Area. So, those of you who are here that are part of the production of that, including you, Brian, who brings it to so many of us, like when we can't be there, I'm so grateful. And thank you all in this smaller community that we have that gets on a Zoom like this.
Thank you. Thank you for showing up and tuning in from New York, and for sharing that little detail. And hi, Gabe.
Hi.
And like we weren't, you weren't there, and we weren't with you. There were things everywhere, in honor of Bob. Gabe, did you want to offer something too? As long as we'll get 2 for 1 here. Go ahead, dear.
Yeah, I think I'm off mute.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, okay. So a couple of things. First of all, as some of you know, I think Sean is here and maybe a few others. Being that I am a reporter and photographer for Grateful Web, but I wasn't able to be in attendance yesterday, I put out a message yesterday morning to Sean and several other photographers I knew who were likely to be there and asked them. Brian was one, although Brian, I didn't get any pictures from you yet. And asked to share pictures so that I could include them with just a little write-up that is now live on Grateful Web. So I just want to point that out. And just really, the reason I bring that up more than anything is just to thank the amazing community that we have, where all you need to do is raise your hand and ask for something. And even though this was just a little thing, Jana's grooming me, I see in the background. It was really helpful and really magical and enabled me to feel in some small way like I was there too. The other thing I want to bring in is that a few days ago, I did an interview with Tom Constantin, who, of course, was briefly a member of the Grateful Dead for about 2 years, right around 1970-ish. And that interview will be on Grateful Web within a few days. But I did ask him about Bob. It was 2 days after Bob had died. And I'm going to read a little story that he told. I just asked him I said, this would be a great time for a Bobby story if you've got one. And I bet you got one. I think you lived with him briefly. And so I'll read now. Tom said, by the way, Tom was the most gracious, wonderful person. I know Brian's talked with him. I don't know if anybody else has ever talked with him or met him, but he was delightful. It was really a pleasure to meet him. Tom said, we shared a house in Ross, rather risky considering our income at the time. But yes, what I really remember is one time whenever we went to Las Vegas, my old hometown, I had several favorite haunts around there and invited everybody in the band to join me. Only one of them accepted, Bob Weir. And we took the afternoon out. We went to the Valley of Fire, which is my favorite place on earth. It's like a bright red sandstone walk in Rorschach. It'll blot out anything that's in your head. You'll see the shape. I'm sorry. I'm reading the transcript, which is funny. It doesn't really have all the punctuation right. It's like a giant Rorschach blot. Anything that's in your head, you'll see the shape of it in one of the rocks. I used to go there with friends and, of course, with psychedelic assistants to enjoy nature. And I went up past where the pathways went out into the valley, so to speak. And I walked out there with him. We went to a place called Mouse's Tank. And it was acoustically magical. And Bob, took out his guitar. Of course, he had his guitar with him. And he sang the Master's Bouquet, which is a very old bluegrass song, for an audience of one. And that magic continues from then on. Not that it hadn't been going on before, I'm sure. So I just wanted to call in Tom. I know he didn't speak yesterday, at least I don't think he did. But his voice is just part of the chorus of all of us who are remembering Bob. And we will all miss him. So thank you for giving me a moment to tell his.
And thank you for sharing TC's story. And it was very important to hear his voice. And it fits with everything. It's so funny. Some of us have met Bob, not all of us. When some of us know him from, the music, which is an intimate kind of knowledge in and of itself. And it's just such a lovely thing to hear all these little details. And what a spirit. What a magical being. I'm going to quick look, Sean, to make sure there's no first-time speakers waiting.
And I can read some more Facebook comments.
And Sean's got his hand. Let's hear a couple Facebook comments, and then we'll go back to you, Sean. So we'll let some novel voices come in. I'll keep you there.
So, from Facebook, Cherie, who is a longtime Deadheadland fan and follower and supporter, so good to see you, says surreal that I'm now that 60-something she is referring to. My husband saw Bobby for the first time when Bobby was 19. Many stories from the Crystal and Springer days around Portland. Hold on. But that is for another day. And then, Fawn wanted to point out that the video I shared was Sharon Daigle's video from she's a Santa Cruz Deadhead. Ryan Jones, the speech that John Mayer made was so heartwarming and refreshing. It really touched me deeply. The Grateful Dead's music will live to be listened to for 300 more years, for eternity, really. There are so many life lessons to be learned, and we sure need these teachings. Thank you, Bobby, Jerry, Phil, Pigpen, Brent, Donna, Keith, everyone who has ever contributed or collaborated. I cannot even put into words how grateful I am. Michael Buzzio, I have been recording Grateful Dead and related band shows since 1988, and please, everybody, hug a taper, thank a taper. What they do for our community is amazing, and it means that they're actually kind of working during a show sometimes, and but it's a labor of love. But God bless the tapers. Trisha just wanted to thank us all for doing this, and that she's listening in. Yeah, Ted's got lots of videos he just posted on his link, the John Mayer elegy. Actually, let me see. Maybe I can share that. Let's see how that works. Hold on just a moment. I can do that. I know how to do this now. One moment. All right. No, that's it. Okay, maybe it's not working as smoothly as I thought.
You're on mute. You're on mute, Brian.
We'll go to the other speakers. I'll figure out how to share
That was I accidentally muted you. I didn't mean to.
We can come back.
Should we come back to this and let Sean share his?
Yes,
go ahead,
please.
Sean.
Yeah, I'll try
and
to
we'll
figure
come
out
back
the
to
video in a
Brian.
moment.
Yeah.
Really quick, I was just going to point out, not knowing what last night was going to be, I think Bobby would have been overjoyed to see kind of this evolution of the torch, and to see Lebo and Reed and everybody up there with Graham leading the band. There was something really special, and then to see gosh, my wife's an English professor, and she would know the word, the dichotomy or whatever of 94-year-old Ramblin' Jack up there. That I thought that what I expected was different, and what we got was magic.
Awesome. Exactly. Really well put. And if I might add just one thing to it, I remember walking in. It took a long time to get in. There were a lot of people, and walking in right as they were beginning Cassidy, which is my favorite Grateful Dead song, let alone my favorite Bobby song. The whole show is a Cassidy sandwich, and it made me cry. But from the very beginning, just a shout out to Graham Lesh for really he's a great torchbearer just generally, but just immediately making the crowd sing, the whole time. And this was all about us getting together and celebrating Bobby. It was just glorious. And so much in the spirit of things. Okay. I see.
I've got the John Mayer video.
Okay, we'll get the John Mayer video and then we'll get you caught. Yeah, I see that you're next. Okay. All right, Brian, thank you.
Okay. Where's the sound?
Yeah, we don't have any sound with that.
All right, I got the video. Oh, wait.
Born on the same day. Good afternoon. Bobby and I were born on the same day, exactly 30 years apart. Libras. While the astrology checks out, 3 decades is a pretty wide chasm between any two people, whether they share a birthday or not. In the 30 years that preceded me, Bob had become a countercultural icon. I was a child of the 1980s. I come from a world of structural thinking, the concept, the theorizing, the reassessing, the perfecting. Bob learned early on that spirit, heart, soul, curiosity, and fearlessness was the path to glory. We both found success with each of our templates, and then we found each other. The echoes of the music Bobby and the Grateful Dead made would lead me to him through whatever strange and nervy knack I have for sidling up next to the things I'm in awe of. What would follow would become the adventure of a lifetime for me. It's hard to find the words to describe the relationship Bob and I had. We never really went looking for them. We didn't need to. We stood side by side together in the music. That's where those 30 years would melt away, and that Libra balance would kick in, and we'd become comrades, sometimes brothers, even if only by one shared parent. We were unlikely partners, and that was part of our magic. Over the course of a decade, we came to trust each other. He taught me, among many other things, to trust in the moment, and I'd like to think I taught him a little bit to rely on a plan. Not as a substitute for the divine moments, but as a way to lure them in a little closer. I guess maybe what I was really doing was showing him he could rely on me. Bob took a chance on me. He staked his entire reputation on my joining a band with him. He gave me musical community. He gave me this community. I got to know his incredible family, Natasha, Monet, and Chloe, whom I now consider my dear friends for life. He lent me his songbook. He invited me into the worlds he'd constructed, and he taught me what the songs meant and what it meant to perform them. And in return, I gave him everything I had, night after night, year after year. The honor of getting the opportunity to express my heart and soul and take flight over those magical compositions has never been lost on me. It's also never been lost on me that there is very little difference between myself and anyone else who loves this music. In so many ways, our experiences have been the same. So I'd like to say a few words to Deadheads everywhere. The excitement you felt when you were boarding a plane or packing up the car to travel miles to see the shows was the same excitement I felt about flying to the next city, working out the set list in a group chat, meeting up with the band on stage for sound check, and getting ready for that magical moment when we take the stage and discover whatever was in store for us that night. When tours would end, you would come home, dump out on your couch, and sleep for 2 days straight. I would do the same, and I could feel the connection we shared together. All of us tired and weary, our hearts so full of music and memories, waiting on the next bit of chatter that it could all happen again. When we played multiple nights in the same city, the afternoons in between felt as if we were suspended in a dream, waiting to become reanimated as soon as the first note of the next show would play. You might have gone to work, and your colleagues wouldn't understand why you were only half there. It's because the other half of you was still at the venue, ready to become whole again by the music. And I felt the same. The hours before the next show existed only to bring the next show closer to us all. And to the countless musicians who have shared a stage with Bobby, I share in this sadness with you. To have played behind him is to know how the songs go. We will forever share stories of what we learned from studying under a master, and we will go on to teach others how he saw this music, how to leave room to hang a note, how to embody the main character of each song, giving the music everything those characters require for their stories to come to life. And after all we've shared together, something new has arisen. A sadness so hard to put into words and nowhere near being fully realized. We have only begun to make sense of what's gone missing. And in the end, Bobby was right again. Because all we can do is hold on to this moment, and I don't have the faintest idea of a plan. I know right now it's easy to feel as if time is speeding up and taking so much from us all. But I would remind you, as I have tried to remind myself this past week, of just how many nights we all lived so fully in each second, hanging on to every word of Bobby's, following the music around twists and turns, through forests and over majestic vistas, taking in the magnificent interviews and wondering how we all got so lucky to have been found by this music and invited into this dream together. Bob had mentioned that Jerry had never really left him, that he still felt him up on his shoulder. And now Bob will be forever perched over my shoulder. I expect to see him in my dreams for many nights to come, when we'll take that stage together with the rest of the band and weave notes around one another, and I will wake up with a smile, remembering the beauty of it all. There are a lot of Grateful Dead lyrics that give comfort at a time like this, but the line I find myself thinking about the most is from a Leon Russell song called A Song for You. And I'd like to think I can hear Bobby saying these words to us all this afternoon. But now I'm so much better, so if my words don't come together, listen to the melody, 'cause my love is in there hiding. And so we will all keep listening, together. 300 years, Bobby. Now that's a plan I can get behind. So here's something I know would make Bobby go, "Ugh." Thank you, Maestro. You changed my life. I will love you forever. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Brian, for sharing that. I'm just going to jump in now because I want to make sure we have time.
Yeah, we have time. Katya can still
Can
speak.
anybody hear me now?
And
Yeah, yeah.
We got Lebo ready soon.
Yeah, 1 second. Thank you for that. That was beautiful. And I'm crying again. Katya's been waiting there very patiently with her hand raised. And I think also Roger. But I'm going to get.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but Katya's been next in line, and then I'll come to you very briefly.
Right.
So Katya, thank you for being patient. And
oh my gosh, no problem. And
I'm going to try to sneak you.
that's a hard act to follow. I'll
No,
just
you don't have to. Yeah. So don't worry about following me. Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm not. That was beautiful, but I am pretty much sobbing now. Yeah, I just wanted to offer. I've been so blessed. I actually just got back from traveling 2 months in West Africa the day before Bobby passed. So I'm just so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful that I was able to go to the Haight on Sunday. And Jordan, thank you so much. And then Mason's children played until like 2 a.m. on the Haight. And I got to dance for some reason in all these crowded venues, including the Warfield last night and our Grateful Dead dance on Friday night. I've just been able to dance big and large, and I've had room in these crowded, and I just wanted to share with all of you that like Bobby is coming through and he's so excited. He's never been able to dance to the Grateful Dead before. He's never been able to dance to his own music, and he's having so much fun. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. Thank you for inviting me and letting me share.
That was lovely. Roger, okay.
I just have a quick Bobby story for you.
Yes, thank you, dear.
To put a smile on everybody's face, then we can maybe leave the afternoon with smiles instead of tears. The date was June 11th, 2009. Bobby and Taj Mahal were playing at Silver Oak Winery for a small crowd. Was anybody there in this group here? Did anybody go? Okay. Bobby had just reconnected with his dad, Jack, about 2 months before that, I think. And he brought Jack up to the venue in his brand new hybrid Lexus. The night went on, was magnificent. It was Rob Wasserman, Jay Lane, Bobby, and Jeff. The night went on until about 3:30 in the morning. Bobby went out to his car with Jack. The car wouldn't start. They called AAA. AAA guy looked at it like it was some rocket ship. He couldn't figure it out. And I was the only one that was sober at 3:30 in the morning. So Jack and Bobby piled into my Land Rover and we started heading toward Mill Valley. We get up to the top of his house up on Summit Road. He gets out and opens up the gate with his code. I pull in, I help him out with his stuff, get his stuff in the house. He goes to give me a hug. I give him a hug back. He says, "Oh, just back out. The sensor will let you ride out again." I go, "Great." It's now about 5:10 in the morning. I get in my car. I go to back out of his gate. I must have backed up and pulled forward 600 fucking times. The gate would not open. It's now 5:45 in the morning. I go and ring the doorbell. Bobby answers in his pajamas. He goes, "Hey, man, what's up?" I said, "I can't get out of your driveway." He goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." He hits the thing, opens the gate. I come back down Summit Avenue, and just as I get to the Chevron station on Miller, my car dies from no gas.
Oh no.
Fast forward 1 year later, Bobby's doing a show in the Tenderloin. I forgot where. It was with Jackie and Phil and for school, somewhere in the Tenderloin. And you had to bring a gift. But at the end, they gave everybody T-shirts. And when I went up they were signing the back of the T-shirt. So I went up to Bobby to get my T-shirt signed. I go, "You probably don't remember me." And he looks up and he goes, "Silver Oak Winery, Broken Lexus, you got me home." And
Wow.
that fucking touched my heart that he remembered a year later.
And it
And he was drunk as shit in the car too. So for him to remember that was just
Thank-
that was my one heartwarming moment with Bobby that, you
that
know, for him to remember like a year later,
well, and and Cynthia said that he remembered her face, from when she was a teenager, and I bet he did. He wasn't just saying that.
He can remember everything except for the lyrics to Truckin'.
Indeed, indeed. Okay, I think we're at
I think Sunshine wants to share.
Sunshine.
Sunshine, are you there?
Sunshine? I didn't see a hand up or anything.
She's been texting.
Oh, okay. Well, tell her. Lebo's about to play. If she can come on real quick.
She's on, but
I
maybe she's not on right this second. Sunshine, are you there? You just came off
here.
mute.
Hi,
Okay, yay.
friends. Here I am. I'm trying to do my video.
Let's see your beautiful
Oh,
face.
you just muted.
You're muted, and
There we
then
go.
hi, love. Thank you, and
Good
thank you.
morning. Good afternoon. Here we are, Grateful Gathering once again.
Yeah.
So grateful to be here, and I don't want to take up too much time. I feel like a lot has been said in the music and here, and I will take some of the words from my other dear musical maestro by the name of Vernon Bush. He said, "Love is all there is."
Mhm.
And that's kind of where I'll leave it. I also just texted Chipotle, as I call him, my friend Jeff Chimenti. So I actually have a really short message from him that I wanted to read really quick, if that's okay.
Yes.
He was with the Weirs after the day celebration and just, you couldn't only do so much in one day. So I told him it was my honor to go to the Warfield and just try to represent. Anyway, I said, "Was there anything you want me to share with the Grateful Gathering that's happening right now?" He said, "You can say, 'God bless Bobby. He made all our lives better, and we will miss him tremendously. He will always be in our hearts.'"
Thank you.
So God bless
Jeff
Bobby.
Chimenti and you, Sunshine, so much. Love you.
Love you, Sunshine. Love you, Jeff. Thank you for sharing.
Love you guys. Thank you so much.
And you really were so beautiful last night. We just loved hearing you sing. Okay.
Keep breathing.
Um, Brian, it's 11:53, and I know Lebo is scheduled to play at 11:50, and then scheduled for something shortly after this. Where is Lebo?
Yeah, so I see Lebo's in the Zoom. I think he's ready. Oh, here he is. He's coming in. So I just want to introduce my favorite guitar player, Dan Leibowitz. I love you, Lebo. Thank you for being here.
Hey,
today.
Lebo.
Hey,
Hey everybody.
thank you for
So
coming.
glad you could join us, Lebo.
Oh, I'm glad to be here. I wish I could have got on earlier actually. Just everything I heard just now is really touching, and I you know, I'm sure you guys been having this all morning, like in the stories of like relating to them, right? Like, because the music is a shared experience, right? Yeah, I felt that big time all week, really, of course. But last night was, I know a bunch of you were there last night, and you know, I part of the reason I'm here later right now is because I didn't leave there till like 2:45 in the morning or something. We were down there in the basement just sharing stories after the show. But I was thinking about in the music, and I'm sure Gooberman and Sunshine would agree with this too. It's a funny thing while you're playing music, because you're doing music and you're just lost in the music. And I found myself there last night, and all that was like super ordinary. But then of course, sometimes I would think of Bobby, and then that would, like, you know, it would change my mindset in the sense that it would just remind me what a gift, you know what I mean? What a gift he is. And then he'd be like back into the music for a while, and that's all like very normal. And then suddenly remembering why we're there, and it just I don't know, I just kind of was feeling appreciative of that, actually, because I was like, oh, playing music is such a normal thing for musicians to do, you know, as a way to communicate, and it wouldn't be possible with all the great souls that have come before us and taught us the way. And so even as sad as it's been this week, I keep this is the other thing I know, and I want to play a song for you. I don't mean to like talk too much, but the other thing I was noticing was, in a lot of my communications, and you guys have probably had this too, it'd be like sighs, right? Like you have a sigh, but then a smile as you look at the person. And it's like, that's the gift, right? It's like, oh, you feel this emotion, but then you're like looking your friend in the eye, and you don't even have to say any words. A lot of times you just are looking your friend in the eye and you're having a connection, in this case, about Bobby Weir, you know, and what he's given to all of us. So that'll go on forever, you know what I mean? And just like this music will. I love that whole 300-year idea, you know, like, and we've been here for a chunk of it, actually. 300 years sounds like an eternity, but look, it's already been 60 years. That's like you know, Estelle's been doing her math, so I've been in fractions lately, helping her, and that's a nice size fraction, actually, of the 300. So here we are. We get to just carry it on. Have you guys had any music yet today?
Nope, you're the first.
No? All right.
You're at Lebo.
In that case, the songbook is open.
Minute to do this. We really appreciate you being here.
Oh yeah, Brian reached out, and I was like, I was actually like, I got the text while I was on my way over to the memorial yesterday, which was so beautiful too. I've never seen so many red roses in my entire life. What a sight. Well, I'm gonna do. Oh, Jeanette, you're there too. Hey, I didn't see you. I was referencing musicians, and there your face is right in front of me too. So I'm sure you feel that same thing I was talking about. There's so many we could choose, but I think I might do this one. That coming through okay?
Yes.
Yeah, sounds great.
Just making sure the musician sounds on.
Sounds great.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm going raw here.
I've seen where the wolf has slept by the silver stream. I can tell by the mark he left you in his dream. Oh, shout of countless trees. Oh, shout of boundless seas. What you are and what you're meant to be speaks as though you were born to me. Born to me, Cassidy. Lost now on a country mile in his Cadillac. I can tell by the way you smile, he's rolling back. Cup washing that time clean. Cup grow the scorched ground green. Blow the horn and tap that tambourine. Throws a cap on the dark years in between. You and me, Cassidy. Quick beats of an icy heart. Catch cold draws a coffin guard. There it goes and now here it starts. He cried. Flight of the seabirds scattered like lost words. We to the storm and fly. Fare thee well now, let your life proceed by its own design. Nothing to tell now, let the words be yours, I'm done with mine. Fare thee well now, let your life proceed by its own design. Nothing to tell now, let the words be yours, I'm done with mine. Fare thee well now, let your life proceed by its own design. Nothing to tell now, let the words be yours, I'm done with mine. Fare thee well now, let your life proceed by its own design. Nothing to tell now. Let the words be yours. I'm done with mine. Let the words be yours. I'm done with mine. Thought of the seabirds scatter like lost words. Wind to the storm and fly.
Bravo. Thank you, Dan. Thank you so
Yeah,
That
I
was
couldn't help but do a custom arrangement there and just go right back to that
perfect.
that third verse, because I think we've all had that echoing in our minds ever since last week, and I almost could have just.
Fare thee well now. Let your life proceed by its own design. Nothing to tell now. Let the words be yours. I'm done with.
Thank you so much. That was perfect.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. So we've gone a little over, but that's the Grateful Dead way. So I want to thank everybody here. We have two more little things. Thank you for those who shared. Thank you for understanding our needs to monitor and not go long. And we did our imperfect way of arranging this, but we love you. We love you, Bobby, infinitely. And I'm going to hand this over now to my dear sister, Wendy Garflip, who's going to share some lyrics. And then Brian has a brief video clip, I think, of Joan Baez from yesterday. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's actually Joan and Chloe dancing.
Oh, dancing, which was amazing. Yeah. So off to Wendy, and then to the joyous video of Bobby's daughter, Joan Baez, dancing on stage, which, if you didn't see it, was just amazing. So Wendy, it's your turn, dear.
Hi, everybody. On behalf of myself and Brian and Deadheadland, Erica, Jeanette, Jordan Feinstein, and Rabbi Shalom and Lebo, we want to thank everyone for being here and sharing. Someone once said to me, "You don't ever get over grief. It's always there. But what you can do is you can let in love and joy, and it will expand your heart. The grief is still there, but it feels more muted because your heart has grown. A day like today makes my heart grow, and I hope yours did too." We're going to end with a quote in Bobby's own words. May his memory be a blessing. Bobby said, "I gotta say, I don't grieve all that ferociously about anybody's passing. I just carry them with me. I'm of the persuasion that life is eternal and we reincarnate, and so there's really a limited point in grieving your own loss when you should feel happy for their liberation." Bobby, you know our love will not fade away.
Thank you, dear. Brian.
thank you all so much for being here today. And thank you to everyone that participated. And, God bless this Terrapin Nation and long live the Grateful Dead. Love you all so much.
Woo, thank you, Brian.
Bye all. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Love you all.
Love you.
Love you guys.
Yeah.
Hey.
People are still here. Oh, everybody is.
I'm trying to stop the live stream now.
Bye.
But close the Zoom and that'll end.
Bye all.
Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Bye. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for doing
Thanks,
this.
Brian. It was
Bye-bye.
great.
And it turns out like that. Oh, they're done. Bill's grandmother made that one on that end. And then that one I found, oh my God, I stayed still up on the bar. And this lady